Hi my lovelies, welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about fake dating books, and this for me is a god tier trope. This is a trope that got me into reading. This is a trope that I read fan fiction for and then decided that I need to read an actual book that had this trope, and the rest is history. So I figured what better way to start my individual trope rec list than fake dating, because this is a very near and dear to my heart trope, and I love this trope very, very much, and I am so excited to share some of my favorites with you. So we have got 9 to talk about today. So for this video, I've broken everything down into 3 categories. The first one is it's always been you, or one person has always had feelings, or both parties have always had feelings, and I love books with that, and so I wanted to give it its own section because it deserves it. The next one is roommates, because again, god tier. It is so good. The forced proximity, just there's so much to love with the roommates romance because they're forced to interact with each other all the time, especially if there's little enemies in there. It just makes it so good. The final category is for books in the middle of the series, because I know myself, I need to read everything in order. I can't really jump around in a series, even if it's interconnected standalones. I need to read everything in order. I wanted to include this for people who A, can just jump into whatever they want. All the power to you. I would love to be you. And then also, hopefully, maybe seeing fake dating in the middle of a series will get you excited to read a series, because the series that I am including in the middle of this, I have read all of the books, I think, and so I would highly recommend these series, and if it gets you excited about them, then I would consider my job well done. So yeah, let's get right into it. And the first one, we're starting off very strong, and it is Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey. This was my first Tessa Bailey book. I loved it, as you can probably tell by all the tabs. It is a book that I love very, very much. I rated this a 5-star when I read it. And this one follows Georgie and Travis. And Georgie, she's the youngest member of her family, I think, and she is also a clown in her town. And that's not an exaggeration. She does birthday parties and she dresses up as a clown. And so nobody really takes her seriously. Nobody in her family takes her seriously. They run a home renovation business, and it's very well known in the town, and it's taken very seriously, whereas Georgie is just a clown. And because she is a clown, she is also not taken very seriously in the dating pool in her town. So enter Travis. He is a baseball player. He's just been injured, so he had to retire. And he has a very bad reputation when it comes to women. To put it nicely, he gets around, and that is very well known. And now that he's retired, he's feeling really lost, but the job opportunity of a lifetime comes up for him. I think it's some kind of sports broadcaster or commentator, something like that, and he wants it badly. But the problem is that his reputation has kind of screwed him a little bit, and they want somebody who's more of a family man. So Georgie sees him come back, and she decides, you know what better way to get myself out there and to make other people see me as dateable than to fake date my brother's best friend and the guy that I have been in love with my whole life, Travis. And Travis decides, you know what, she is a clown. She does kids' birthday parties. There is nobody more family friendly than that. So he agrees. And the lines between them very quickly begin to blur, and Travis starts to forget that Georgie is just supposed to be his best friend's little sister. I said earlier that this was a 5-star, and this is a 5-star. I haven't read this since 2022, I want to say, maybe 2023. It's been a while since I've read this, but it's one that I definitely want to reread, because this is one that when I read it, it pulled me out of my slump that I was in immediately. Before this, I had just read a 5-star book. I'm looking at my review right now so I can give accurate thoughts, but I had just read a 5-star, and so I was slumpy. And so I needed something good to pull me out of it, and this did it immediately. So if you're needing a fun palate cleanser book that also just has a lot of yearning, and Tessa Bailey, she knows how to write romance, and she knows how to write smut. She just knows how to write chemistry, and so if you're wanting something where you feel the connection between them, and also something that's really cute because Georgie is inexperienced, and this was just so good. This is making me want to read this again. I loved this book. I don't know if you can tell by all the tabs that were in it, but I had a fantastic time with this when I read it, and I would very highly recommend it. It is one of the first fake dating books that I ever read, and it made me fall in love with the genre even more, so I would highly recommend this one. The next one is very well known in the fake dating space, and this one is Closed Door. So if you're wanting something that isn't spicy, I think it just fades to black. I could be wrong, or there's no implication of it whatsoever. So this one follows Nathan and Bree, and they have been best friends for pretty much as long as they can remember. I think they met when they were kids and then became best friends in high school, and they are thick as thieves. There's no separating these two. And Bree just happens to be hopelessly in love with Nathan. She would never tell him because she values her friendship with Nathan so much that she would just never risk not having him in her life. So she holds all her feelings in, doesn't let anybody know. But Nathan is an NHL player and Bree owns a dance studio, and her studio starts going under. So Nathan decides, let me spend some of my big, shiny NFL money and buy the building that your studio is in so that you can never get kicked out. And Bree, super grateful, gets drunk and spills to a reporter that she is in love with Nathan and that she loves Nathan so much for saving her building, and she's just head over heels for him. But that clip goes viral. It brings a lot of attention to Bree's studio, and it also opens up a lot of doors for Nathan, who is about to go to the Super Bowl. And so they decide, you know what, you obviously didn't mean what you said, and so let's just keep this going. We'll fake date, we'll pretend to be together. That way we save your reputation, and we also can just get all the endorsement deals, because a lot of people are really interested in us now. They have fallen in love with us. So let's just play into it a little bit. And so they do that. So Bree is trying really, really hard to remember that this is fake, because being in forced proximity with Nathan, she's having a really hard time not letting her feelings get the best of her. But the problem isn't her, the problem is Nathan, because he is the one that's coming across like he doesn't want this to end and that his feelings are real. And so Bree doesn't know, is this him faking, or does he feel the same way about me? Now, I really enjoyed this book. I thought that the vulnerability, especially on Nathan's part, was done really well. I love it in books when the MMC can be vulnerable, and there was some vulnerability on Nathan's part in this book. And they also have a little romance cheat sheet of things that they do, and it's just so cute. This is just a cute, fun novel, and I am such a sucker for friends to lovers romance, and the fact that it's friends to lovers and fake dating and it's always been you. It's just the trifecta for me. This is such a good book. It's also closed doors, so if you're not a big fan of spicy romances, I would highly, highly recommend this one, because it is very sweet, and I think a lot of people would have a really good time with it. It's very well known for a reason. It also has a sequel, so I would definitely recommend this, and I would definitely give it a try. This one I don't own, and this is The Faking Game by Olivia Hale. So this book transitions us from the It's Always Been You trope, which is present in this book, but it also transitions us to the next category, which is roommates, which is honestly, this is part of why I'm so excited about this video. I love a roommate romance, and it's so hard to find them, so I wanted to recommend a few, and this one helps transition us into there. So this one follows Nora, and she is a model, and she's being stalked, and it's getting really bad to the point where she needs to move out of her apartment. And she lives in Europe currently, but her brother, also who lives in Europe, decides, no, you know what, you need to flee the country. I have a friend, you know him, he's West, and he is gonna let you stay with him. Like, you can go stay in his house, he'll keep you safe, he'll protect you. And Nora happens to have a big old crush on West, but it is unrequited because she made a move a couple years ago and she was shot down. And so she really does not like West. She is very much a people pleaser, but not with West. She hates this man's guts. But her brother kind of forces her to go live with him, and so she moves into West's place, and then they go out together one night, and they're photographed together, and West realizes, you know what? We're already going to be seen together. Why don't we just pretend to be together? Because that way your stalker will know that A, I'm protecting you, and B, you're unavailable. You're off the market, you're a taken lady, and hopefully he'll stay away. And so they decide to fake date. But Nora is really against this because she really needs to work on dating, because she's had no luck dating in the past, and so she doesn't want to be locked down to somebody where it's not going to go anywhere. She needs to practice. So she says, okay, we can fake date as long as you teach me, as long as you help me become comfortable around men, and as long as you help me let go of my people-pleasing ways a little bit, because I have no problem arguing with you, but with everybody else, I can't say no, I can't speak my mind, so I need you to pull that out of me. I need you to teach me how to act around people. This was such a good book. I was in a slump when I read it, so I didn't get the full enjoyment that I think I could have gotten out of it, but it was done really, really well. Let me say this, if you are not a praise person, you probably won't like this book because it is a huge aspect of it, so keep that in mind. There is so much good in this book, and I'm really bummed that I read it when I was in a slump because it has so much potential. So if you're looking for a fake dating romance with roommates, and there's just tension and praise, a lot of praise, and this is just really good. I would highly recommend this one. I think there's a lot to love about it. It has a lot of tropes, and I think that most of them are done really, really well. So I would highly recommend it. So the next book is Faking Mrs. Right by Claire Kingsley, and this one follows Everly and Shepherd. And so Everly, her life is kind of a mess, but she has a really good job working for this guy named Shepherd, and she's been doing this for 3 years, and he's not the nicest boss. She'll say good morning to him every day. He doesn't ever respond to her. He's really short, he's really grumpy. He's just kind of an ass, but she stayed there for 3 years, and she's really proud of herself for doing that because nothing in her life is really going to plan, but this is something that she's always very proud of, the fact that she's accomplished this and that she's stayed as long as she has. Meanwhile, Shepherd, his life is kind of going into shambles. His ex is causing a lot of grief. She pops up in his life in an unexpected way, and he needs to get her off his back. So he invites Everly, who he knows will put up with him, to be his date for an event. It goes really well. It makes his ex jealous, gets her off his back, and then decides, you know what? I've accidentally slipped up and said that you were my girlfriend that lives with me. Do you want to maybe do that? And Everly does not like Shepherd, but she has quite a big favor to ask him, so she knows that she can't really say no. So they move in together, and she thinks that this is going to be a really easy arrangement. We'll just fake it occasionally, but she realizes that he's a very different person outside of the office, and that he might be a little bit more than the grumpy exterior that he shows to everybody else, and that he might actually have a soft side that she'd never seen before, and it makes it very hard to tell the difference between real and fake. This is really good. I will say, for me, the best part of this book is the friendships, especially in the later books. This one I feel like is a very great intro to this series because you get introduced to Everly's friends. They have a fantastic friend group, and in the later books you get to see all of the husbands be really protective over the friends, and it is really cute. It was my favorite part of these books by a mile. I loved the friendship dynamics, and I will say this wasn't a crazy standout book to me, but it was done really well. It knew exactly what it was, and it did it well. It was a good fake dating book. The forced proximity really worked. The grumpy sunshineness of this book really worked. Just everything that it did well. This probably won't be a book that really stands out to you, but if you are craving a book that's fake dating, that has really good friendship dynamics, I would highly, highly recommend this one. And honestly, book 2 and 3 in this series are so much better in my opinion, so just honestly read this so that you can get to those ones. The next one is Not Pretending Anymore by Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward. And this one follows Molly and Declan. And Molly is in dire need of a roommate, but she's having no luck. Everybody that's applying is horrible. They're messy, they're stinky. Whatever could go wrong is going wrong for Molly. But enter Declan. He is lovely, he's kind, he bakes. He is everything that she could want in a roommate, except he's a guy. And she really does not feel comfortable living with a man. And so she tells him that. She's like, look, you're wonderful. I would love to have you live here, but I just don't really want to live with a man. I'm sorry. He's like, okay, that's totally fine. But he's persistent. He comes by bringing cupcakes and baking for her and just oozing kindness and wonderfulness and just so much goodness. And so she finally relents. She's like, you know what? You're the best person that's come by a mile, and you bake. So let's go. Move on in. And so they hit it off immediately. They become best friends like that. They just have a great time together. And as they're getting to know each other, they both realize that they're hung up on other people, whether that be people they work with, their exes, I don't remember, but they're hung up on other people. And so Declan decides, you know what, I have a great idea. Let's fake date each other, make them jealous, and then that way they'll notice us, they'll want to be with us. And it works. They both get the other person's attention. They start dating the other person, the person they want to be with, but they can't stop thinking about each other. I love stuff like this. I love it so much. I'm a sucker for fake dating, especially friends to lovers. And again, it's roommates. I just love it. It's so good. And I will say with this one does deal with grief, and it hit me really hard when I read it. Granted, the grief that I was dealing with was fresh. I think it was a year-ish after I had dealt with it that I read this, and it hit me hard. I was a bit of a mess. So if you're dealing with grief, especially the loss of a dad, it hit me hard. Would not recommend this one. But again, you know yourself. Just tread lightly, check your triggers. But I did really like this one. Again, if you love a friends to lovers, if you love a roommates to lovers, if you just love yearning and tension and just fake dating, it's perfect. I do remember really enjoying this book, but I think the emotional aspect kind of overpowered everything for me. But if that's not something that you think that you will struggle with, then I would highly recommend this book. Otherwise, I would tread a little bit more carefully. But even though it did affect me quite a bit when I read it, I would still highly recommend this book. Before that happened, I had a lot of fun with it. I hope that you will too. This one sends us into the final category of the video, which is mid-series reads. And we are starting off strong with this one. So we've got The Right Move. We've got The Right Move. We've got The Right Move again. And then we've got The Right Move again. So I don't know if you can tell, I like this book a lot. This is The Right Move by Liz Tomfordy. I hope that that's right. I'm pretty sure it's right. I have 4 editions of this. Anyway, this one is very well loved for a reason. This is book 2 in the Windy City series. This is one that you can definitely go in as a standalone, but I wouldn't recommend it because you see characters in this in book 1, and book 1 is just also really good, and it's highly and criminally underrated, so please read book 1, which is Mile High. This one follows Ryan and Indy, and Ryan is a very, very famous NBA player. He very much values his privacy and his space, but when his sister Stevie asks if her best friend Indy can move in after a very bad breakup, Ryan can't say no to his sister. He loves his twin very, very much, and so he will do pretty much whatever she says. And so Indy moves in, and Ryan is grumpy, he's quiet, he's very sweet, but it's buried very deep under his protective shell, whereas Indy is sunshine personified. She is light, and she's warmth, and she is pink and yellow and blue and just color, basically, and he is black and white. And so she comes in and she's so different from him, and she immediately changes the way that his apartment feels, and he hates having her there. But Ryan was recently made captain of his basketball team, and the manager of the team, or the owner of the team, is not a big fan of that. He likes it when a family man is the head of the team, and Ryan is not. He's very isolated. He is a hermit. So enter Indy. She shows up at one of his practices, and Ryan decides to tell his manager, "This is my girlfriend. She lives with me now. She's all sunshine and bubbly and just wonderful." And so Ryan is like, "Please, I need this. Please, I will do anything." And she's like, "Okay, you know, my ex is gonna be at my friend's wedding, and I would really appreciate if you would come with me." And so they fake date from there. It is so, so good. Ryan Shea, he loves quietly. He is an acts of service man. If you are an acts of service girly, Ryan Shea, he is so wonderful. He remembers all the little things. This is just such a good book. And Indy, she is such a wonderful character, and she has been made to feel like she needs to shove who she is down, and what makes her her, she needs to shove that away. But Ryan sees that, and he wants to help her bring it out, and he wants to help her embrace who she is. He wants to show her off, whereas before she was the one showing other people off, and she wasn't able to be shown off. And so now he puts her out there. He's like, this is her, she's everything. Look at her, like, she's perfect. And she never had that before, and it's just such a good book. It's such a good book. This is a lot of people's favorites for a very good reason. Just please read this one. The next one is Yours Truly by Abby Manas. This one is book 2 in the Part of Your World series. First book was my favorite, in my personal opinion, but this is a lot of people's favorite, and I can definitely see why. So this one follows Brianna and Jacob, and Brianna's life is kind of a mess at the moment. She's getting divorced. Her brother is dying of kidney failure, and the job that she was really, really excited for is possibly going to a new hire when she has been there for years, building that place from the ground up. She made it what it was, and it might be going to somebody else. And so she's not very happy, and she makes that known. Enter Jacob. He is the new hire. He is the guy who is taking Brianna's job, but he does not want the job. He has really, really bad social anxiety, and he could not take a job where he has to oversee people like that. So he decides, you know what? I have started off on the wrong foot here. Let me write her a letter. So Brianna gets the letter, and she's like, oh, you're actually really sweet. And so they write letters back and forth to each other. And then he finds out about her brother's kidney, and he gets tested. He finds out he's a match, and so he decides to anonymously donate one. Brianna finds out, and she's like, please, what can I do? Let me do anything to help you. He's like, well, my brother's getting married to my ex, and she's the reason I came here. I was kind of running away from her because she's marrying my brother. Do you want to maybe come with me and pretend to be my girlfriend? You just gave my brother a kidney. Absolutely, I will. Now, I will say, the best part of this book for me was the anxiety representation. Jacob has really bad anxiety, and I felt like it was done so well. If you're wanting to see anxiety representation that has been very well loved and very well received by a lot of people, this is the one. It is just so nice to see a main character who makes you feel understood and makes you almost understand yourself better. As someone with anxiety, I felt understood, and I felt like I knew myself better a little bit after reading this book and after seeing someone like me. You don't see that very often, or if you do, it's not always done super well, but I felt like this was done really well, and I think a lot of people did too. And also, this book has letters. I am such a sucker for letters in romance books, and I just really enjoyed their relationship. Like, Jacob did a lot of things that scared him because he wanted to be there for Brianna, and he wanted to show her how much he cared for her. And then Brianna, she was just there for him in ways that nobody else had been. And part of why his other relationship fell apart was, I think, because of his anxiety. But Brianna, she just saw him and accepted every single aspect of him. And as someone with mental illness, that's just all that you can ask for, is just that all of your bits and pieces that maybe aren't as easily digestible or as well received, that you find somebody that loves you because of them and loves helping you put them together and just loves you and sees you and wants you. And that's what was done in this book, and it was so good. But I will say, there's miscommunication in this book. But even with the miscommunication, this was just so good, and there's so much to love with this book, so I would highly recommend this one. It is very well loved for a reason, and also, if you want to go in order, you get to read Part of Your World, which was a 5-star book for me, so it's a win-win. And a lot of people love Just for the Summer, which is book 3, even more, so win-win-win. There you go. The next one, I'm very excited to talk about this one because I'm actually rereading this one, because while I was preparing for this video, I read the description for this and I was like, okay, I need to read it again. And this one is Blindside by Candy Steiner. This one is book 2 in the Red Zone Rivals series, I want to say. This one follows Clay and Gianna, and Gianna works for the public relations team for her school, and she works with the football team. And so she helps organize interviews and things like that. And one person that she typically loves working with is Clay, because he's so bubbly. He is always really nice to her, really nice to the reporters. But out of nowhere, he starts acting really weird, really cold, and almost mean. And then she finds out that his long-term girlfriend dumped him. And so she goes to talk to him, and while they are having their meeting, he notices that she cannot keep her eyes off of this guy playing guitar in the corner of the bar where they're meeting. And so he sees that, and he says to her, look, not to be mean or anything, but you are super awkward. Like, I hate to break it to you, but you're not gonna get with Buddy over there because you can't even look at him. So here's what we're gonna do. You and we're gonna fake date, because I know my ex. She'll get super jealous if she sees me talking to anybody else, and she'll want me back. And I can help you get more comfortable around men, and also make Buddy jealous. And then that way, it's a win-win. I get with my girl, you get with your guy. She's like, yeah, you're right. I do need a little bit of help, but I'll be honest with you. I need help with other areas as well. I don't have very much experience with men, and I don't really know how to do anything, so I need you to teach me. So he agrees. I'm reading this right now, and it's so good. I'm having the best time with it. I just really like how much they like each other and also what they like each other for. Especially how Clay sees Gianna. He just likes her for her. He sees her dorky skirts and she wears big librarian glasses and she loves to read and she's awkward and she's dorky, and he loves that about her. He just likes who she is for who she is. She doesn't want to change. There's even a scene, I love scenes like this. She buys dresses and things like that that are outside of her comfort zone because she wants to get Buddy's attention, and he's like, they're not you. Love it. And also he reads her books, and let me just say, the chemistry is done so well in this. It is steamy, so keep that in mind. But I would highly recommend this whole series. It's really, really good. But this one, a lot of people really, really love this book, so I would highly, highly recommend it. I think most people who pick it up will probably love it. And holy crap, we're on to the last one. The last one, we are ending on a very high note, my friends. This is a favorite of mine, and I think this is a favorite of a lot of people's. This is even the author's favorite, and this is The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. This is such a good book. I love this book. This is book 2 in the Vancouver Storm series. This is my favorite of the series. I haven't read book 4 yet. This is top tier though. It is so good. It is so good. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So this one follows Hazel and Rory. And Rory is an NHL player and Hazel is the physiotherapist for his NHL team. So the newest addition to Hazel and Rory's team is Hazel's ex. And he is a loser. He sucks for some reason. I don't remember. But she wants to get back at him, and what better way to get back at your loser ex-boyfriend than to date his arch rival, Rory Miller. And Rory, he used to be very fun. He used to love hockey. He used to be so happy-go-lucky, but all of his spark is kind of gone. But Hazel pulls the fire out of him. She brings him back to life a little bit, and so when this offer is on the table, he snatches it up right away. And he has also been obsessed with Hazel since high school, since she was his tutor, and so any opportunity that he gets to spend time with her, he's going to grab, and he is going to try real hard to get her to reciprocate the feelings that he's been having this whole time. This was so good. I love this book. I just love their banter, and I also loved seeing them grow together. I loved seeing both of their sparks come back and just the life and the fun come back into their lives. It was done so well in this. They both grew so much together. They both just became their best selves together, and I love that in books where people have kind of lost their will to be happy and they find somebody who's also in the same position and they bring that out of them again. It's just so good. But it was also deep, and it was just so good. I loved this so much. It's such a good book. That is everything, I think. I know for a fact that I have more fake dating books, but these are the ones that I could think of, and these are the ones also that I could kind of pair together in categories, because I didn't want to have like one-off things. I wanted to be able to give you guys a cohesive list, and I'm hoping that I did that. I'm hoping that I gave you guys stuff that maybe you haven't heard of. Oh, these are all upside down. Hold on, bear with me. I know that some of these are really well known, like The Right Move and The Fake Out, The Cheat Sheet. I wanted to give you some popular ones on the off chance that you hadn't heard of them, and then also give you some ones that maybe, hopefully, not many people have heard of. So that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found something that you're excited to read, or if you've read any of these, let me know down below. Let's talk about them, because I want to talk about these with people, so please read them, or please talk to me about them if you have read them, because I would love to chat with you. Yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope you found something that you want to read, and I very much hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, my lovelies.